Imagine capturing moments that entire generations will look back on. That's the power of today's guest. Today we have Aniyah Mills to uncover the blueprint of videography and photography. She is a senior at Mississippi State University that started her videography business, Mills Creation, her freshman year, and she has now transitioned into working with many student organizations as well as businesses around the Starkville area. Aniyah, it is great to have you today. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited for you to be my first episode, and I'm ready to get into it. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you on. So, when you first, because you're not from Mississippi, you're from Delaware, right?
Yep.
When you first got to Mississippi State, what were your intentions? Were your intentions to pick up a camera and start doing photography and videography, or were you just coming to get through school and get out?
My intentions coming here was to do something. Since like a child in high school, I've been doing like graphic designs and video productions, and so my life ever since I was young always revolved around sports. So that's all I knew. Coming to high school, going to college, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna play basketball, you're gonna be in sports. That didn't happen.
Right.
So I didn't want to go to college and not like do anything. I knew that I always had a passion for videos, so I was like, well, you're in a new state, it's kind of like a fresh start, so you might as well do it, take that chance, gamble on yourself.
Right. Okay, so with you saying you've been doing this since you were a kid, can you take me back to the first time you picked up a camera? What that felt like for you? How you learned to maneuver around cameras and settings and things like that?
My first time picking up a camera, I want to say in like high school, freshman year. So my dad, I was very active when I was younger, like in dance classes, sports. So my dad always had a camera everywhere he went and was just like recording.
Right.
And so that was kind of like my motivator right there. But cameras are expensive. So I never really officially had a camera. So my first time just physically holding a camera and just being able to create that art and put what's in my head and just go out and record it was in like high school, and it felt great. Like it felt amazing to just be able to get what's in my head and just bring that vision to life.
Right.
So people could see like the creative things, and like it's kind of like my imagination. People were able to see like what I'm thinking or what I could see in my head.
Right. All right. I am not good with a camera whatsoever. Yeah. So to be good with a camera and to be creative, I feel like that's a gift like only a few people have, because I've been wanting to start this podcast since before I have started it, and I tried multiple times on my own, but it wasn't until I found this studio that I was able to do it, and that's a real gift to be able to take what's in your head and put it to life. That's a really cool gift to have. So one thing that many creatives have with you're saying you're taking your ideas and putting them to life. One thing that many creatives struggle with is actually putting a price on it and working with people. How are you able to overcome that? And what are some things you might recommend to do that to other creatives?
Being in college, it's kind of hard to just like stand firm in your pricing, because you have to realize who your audience is.
Right.
Everyone who's booking is like a college student, or some of the orders, they might not have the funds like that.
Right.
So although I believe like everyone always say charge your worth, so I believe you're getting way more than the price that I'm giving you, but I understand
right.
people have things like lives, and so I try to be more lenient and understanding. So it's kind of hard, but I'm making it happen, making it work, trying to give people the best product, no matter what the price is. Always put in my 100% into it and just give it all my best. So I say to the people that's entrepreneurs and stuff and trying to find pricing, 100%, give the price that you're worth.
Right.
No matter like what's around you, just be real with yourself. Like, am I worth this much? Am I worth that much? I'm able to, give you all these things, and people have to understand, like, as a videographer or photographer, and also a college student,
right,
I have a lot of things going on, classes, I got to study. So not only am I charging for my work, I'm also charging for, like, my time. So make sure you charge people for your time and stuff as well, because you cannot get back time.
And not at all. Especially, it's really hard,
Yeah.
like you were saying, as a student entrepreneur to find a price and stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because also, as a student, people are like, well, I should be able to get it for this
Right.
price or this price because you're not a student. You're not, an adult necessarily. But, like, as a college student, you have to understand, okay, what do I have time to do?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have time, even if I'm charging, let's just say $50, do I have time to go above and beyond that $50? So when they come back again, they might be like, okay, I'll give you a tip and just pay you $100 or something like that. I think that's very important. Something that students look over. Mm-hmm. They try to charge, oh, I'm a student, I'm gonna just charge this amount and keep it kicking. But they have great products or great skill sets, and they're selling themselves short. And I think charging what you're worth is a great example to go by.
Don't ever sell yourself short.
Don't ever sell yourself short. So with you saying that how were you able to maneuver into working with student organizations? Because most times when you get to college, they already have set photographers for stuff that they're doing, or they use the school photographers or anything like that. How are you able to maneuver into that position for some of these orgs?
So first, you just have the confidence, to just step out of like your comfort zone, or just be able to tell people like, I'm just as great too. Like I can do what they can do. I could give you a great product. And also like with some of the orgs, some of the like the presidents or e-board were like my friends.
Right.
So it's kind of easier going to them like, hey, if you need like photos, videos, I'm here. Like we could work together, collab.
Right.
Whatever you have in mind, like let's do it. Going to like more official organizations or like the school-based ones, it's kind of a lot harder because they do tend to go to what the school provides them. But it's just, again, just having confidence in yourself, having confidence in your work, and just knowing, like, I could give you a great product, and, like, whatever you have in mind, I'm able to bring that to life.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. Sometimes as a student entrepreneur myself, I get caught in the mindset of like, oh, they're already, they already have somebody that they're set to go to, or I'm not in their said friend group or this or that and this and that. But this podcast has helped me like get outside my comfort zone, talk to different people, introduce myself to different people, and like I was saying earlier before we got on. You never know who you're talking to.
Right.
So it's just important to be yourself, be kind to people, and just put yourself outside of your comfort zone. We're going to take a couple steps back. And how did you decide that you wanted to do videography as well as photography? I know a lot of people in college, they do photography just, as a side hustle to get money so they don't have to work a part-time job or whatever. But not many college students do videography. So how did you decide that that's something you wanted to do?
I always wanted to do like videography growing up. I had this humanities class in high school, and like with our group, we had to create a video project to like for their assignment. And I'm the first one, like, I'll be the editor.
Right.
I'll go out and create. I'll get the clips you need, and just starting young, playing around with like Premiere Rush, learning Premiere Pro and stuff like that. So video has always been like my passion more than photography. I just love, like, it just makes me feel, it just gives me a different feeling from like photography, and I love like the thrill and the stuff I get from just going out and creating, watching when I'm creating back to back while I'm editing, and it just like, to me it's just amazing. Like video is amazing. It's like everything. I love to do it. It just like, I don't know, it just gives me a great feeling inside when I do video.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like with a picture, they say a picture says 1,000 words, but I feel like a video tells 1,000 stories. A picture can give you many different perspectives, but it's all centered around the same feeling. A video, you can get multiple different feelings out of multiple different things. That's why I'm saying, like, a picture says 1,000 words. A video will tell 1,000 stories, and that's one reason why I wanted to do video podcasts and not just audio podcasts, because it's one thing to be listening to people's story and understanding where they come from and understanding them as a entrepreneur, a business owner, or a student, but it's one other thing to look at those people and say, oh, that person look like me, or that person might not look how I thought they sounded, but they're giving me value, and that's why I think video is important. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because video is a lot more beneficial than pictures, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you get like just a different visual aspect from it. You could stare at a picture for so long, and sometimes you ever just stare at a picture and just like it started getting weird.
Yeah, it started changing the form or something like that. With
Right.
with a video, it can't do that. And with a picture though, you can like misinterpret the meaning of that picture.
Yeah.
You know, some pictures, just say, I'm trying to think of an example. Like it could be a butterfly, and like, or like how back in the day they had that yellow, that blue dress, or they was saying is it black or blue or gold. Like it could be misinterpreted in so many different ways, and not a lot of people think about it that way. But I'm glad you do think about it that way, because video is very hard.
It is hard.
Trust me,
extremely hard.
It is very hard. Premiere Pro is so hard to learn.
And it break down on you. And
man, I looked at that stuff the other day and I was like, I'd rather do differential equations than sit here and try to learn Premiere Pro. It's harder than I thought it would be, but we're gonna get it together.
People see like 30-second clips, but it's like I probably spent like 4 hours or even a day just to give you that 30 seconds. So video is very hard and it's like so time consuming and stuff. But I love it though.
So with you saying it's hard and it's time consuming, which trust me, I know I spent hours on hours editing podcast episodes. Why do you continue to do videography, and how does being a part of school organizations help you shape that vision of why you wanted to be a videographer?
I see it as more than just a hobby. I want it to be like my career. I want that to be what I'm doing when I get older. So I just feel like you just gotta stick with it. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your art. Don't give up on like the passion you have for it, because you'll never know what you can be if you just keep going.
Right.
So although it's hard, I'm never gonna let that stop me or bring me down. It might be times where I just step away from it and have to get my mind right and find like creative ideas to go with it. But I never give up on it, because I see it as more than just a hobby. I see it as more than a noun thing.
Right.
So I just want to get all the learn all the skills and stuff, and just work with orgs and find different video avenues and stuff to work with and understand, and just gather those skill sets and develop my craft and just grow as the videographer I want to become.
Right. I think that's very important in today's world. Video, a lot, history is told through history books by pictures. But I feel like in our time and age, video is so much more important. It tells so many more stories. It tells the true story, not a story that can be manipulated or depicted in a different way. It tells actually, what's going on. What are some things you do to keep you creative in videography, and especially with working with different orgs? Each org is different. Each person is different when working with businesses. What's something that keeps you, true to your creativity while also bringing their visions to life?
So I like to like map out shoots and stuff. There's this app I use to like plan my shoots. And so I'll put down what I have in mind and I'll share with them and let them like, oh yeah, I like this, I like that, we can do this, or I have this in mind, let's do this. And so I'm always down to like creating a storyboard for us to work with and for both of us to see the ideas that we have.
Right.
And to go back and forth like, yeah, let's do this, we could do it this way, coming up with like the angles of a shoot, like just things like that. So just creating a storyboard where both me and the person that I'm working with can just like create and map out and have an idea of how we want to go about things.
Okay, that's very smart. I never thought that you could do that with video, honestly. Sitting here thinking like with pictures is easy. You can send ideas, you can send shoots that you like, in relation. But for videos, like I was thinking, you just go and you just shoot it. And then do it over and over again until you get what you want.
You could map it out and plan it how you want it to go. And so when you get there, it's like, okay, we already know what to do. We know what kind of angles and stuff we want. And so you just going out and do it. And it might take a few times to just do it, but at least you already have the general idea instead of like trying to figure things out on the spot.
Right. Then I know all of this didn't come to you overnight. So who are some some things, some people you watch, and some things you did to get yourself accommodated with Premiere Pro, or doing the angle layouts? Because I know that can't be easy to map out before you even seeing the shoot venue, or anything that's going on with the shoot. I know that can't be easy. So what are some things you did to develop those skills to be able to do that?
A bunch of YouTube, like
YouTube University.
Very beneficial.
Best friend.
What, man, what I learned everything from YouTube. But just going on YouTube, people are giving you step by step on how to like go about making your storyboard, trying to sound design, mapping out, like giving you different angles you can try with shoot. So I like to watch Danny, and there's another guy, Giashi, who is working with Lil Yachty now.
Okay.
So I love watching them, and they're very motivational on how I can better my craft, or how I can go about trying new things and implement it into my work. So I love watching YouTube, love watching people on YouTube, and just trying to figure out different ways to be creative, find creative ideas and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I think when it comes to video, some people overthink it, including myself. But literally, you can just go in YouTube and say how to ... on Premiere Pro, or it'll pop up a whole slew of videos. Some videos might be old, but that's just because it doesn't really change how it's supposed to be done in Premiere Pro or something like that. So yeah, I overthink it a lot myself, and I got to get on my YouTube University classes and learn how to do Premiere Pro to edit these podcast videos.
They'll give you everything on YouTube.
They really do. I learned a slew of things from YouTube. I was 16 learning how to invest watching YouTube videos.
On 16 trying to like figure out how to do stuff with my car and stuff.
Literally, same. I was on YouTube trying to figure out how to mount a TV the other day. I put 5 holes in the wall and the TV still ain't on the wall. But
not only are you learning it, but you gaining a new skill.
Exactly. I got a whole bunch of tools now that I can use. How did you learn to balance your entrepreneurship with your being a student, and also balancing being a student and an entrepreneur with being a creative? Creatives have their own avenues where they have to express themselves freely. How do you balance all three of those different avenues?
Really, I just like to take my time with things, not trying to rush it. It's to like being a creator or finding new things to create. It takes time. It's not gonna come overnight. So just giving myself the space and quietness to just like think, or even stepping away from editing to figure out how, like what edit I want to do or what I want to put here, and just finding, like, I go to the gym a lot. I love working out and just like running. So just putting myself in different spaces where I could step away and just get them creative thoughts back flowing and running. So I just sometimes like to step away from it and try different things so that I could get my mind back right and back creative and back to where I need to be.
That's one reason I wanted to ask that question, because a lot of people confuse like their creativity with hobbies, or their creativity with that it has to be a part of every part of their life, and it doesn't. You could step away. If you're a content creator and you make gym content, sometimes you can skip making content while you're at the gym just to get your mind together when you don't have your creative juices flowing, when you have creator's block or something like that. I know when I was going to Georgia for my co-op to finish that up, I was like, I want to continue to do the podcast, but I was stuck on how I would be able to do so, and then I was just like, just break it into seasons. It's not that hard, but at the time, boy, I was stressing. But as a person, when you in that moment, you kind of think like, dang. And I think sometimes it's really harder as a creative to stay, I'm a step away, because that's your baby. Like, there's literally something that you're bringing to life, kind of like a baby, something that you're taking care of, you're nurturing, and you're bringing into life and giving it to people. And you want it to be, 100% or 110%. But sometimes you just got to step away and remove that creativity from other aspects of your life. Just be at the gym. Don't think about, making a video. Just run. Just do you. So, with that being said, what are some skills you have outside of the camera or editing that allowed you to maneuver in these avenues and work with student organizations and work with people around the Starkville area?
So I really just love to like, I don't know, I just love like my community and especially the people here. And so just being around all these people at a PWI, the people of my color at a PWI, and
Right.
just, being in spaces with different creators or different people that like I hang around. I have like IT friends. I have people who are like very educated in like history and stuff like
Right.
that. So being around all these people who love all these different things, being able to just like step away sometimes and just be in my environment, in my community, that also keeps me going. Like the people around me, the support, and just the people here, like they just keep me going even when I feel down. Like they just keep me going and get my spirits back. So I just love like the community and just being a part of these people and helping out in ways that I can. And even if it's not through video,
Right.
just some form of trying to help out and like just helping out people where I can.
Yeah, I think that's important in today's time. A lot of people, especially our age, lose the sense of community.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that's what's going to be a problem in later generations after us, because they rather struggle alone than to find somebody to struggle
Right.
with or to help them through whatever they're going through. And so I feel like that's a big part, especially in, videography or podcasting or anything really. You have to be able to be within the community, and you have to have skills outside of what you're trying to sell people to be able to be in people's spaces. People don't want to just hear, oh, you want me to take your pictures for $50 every day.
Like, what else can you do?
What else can you offer me? Can you come help me, build my garden out back or something, can you help me with that? So that's really important in today's time. What are some things you do as a student, as far as like habits and stuff that help you keep everything organized, especially with you saying you're a big part of the community, you love the community around here, you love to work out and stuff like that. What keeps you organized, especially with you being a student as well?
A calendar, really.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta see it. Like I can't, like I have ADHD. I can't just like remember it.
Right.
If I ever try to remember it, it's not gonna get done. So just having like a calendar or some physical something I could look at and just remind me, like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Take time away and just go to the gym, get back in the gym, go work out, go run, and also reading. I love reading. I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits right now.
I love that book.
Oh my gosh.
That book is amazing. That book is
great book right
fire.
There. I love it. So just like trying to, change my mindset and just do things to change my mindset, change my thoughts, like allowing God to guide and be in control of like my actions, my words. And so just tapping in, like getting away from people and just tapping into myself. Because we 21, 22 now, so we preparing for the real world.
Right.
So outside of like videography, I'm just taking a lot of time to like work on myself, get my mind right, and just tap into me so I'm the best I can be.
Right, exactly. A lot of times students, especially student entrepreneurs, they focus so much on class or whatever they're trying to create. They don't say, okay, sooner or later I'm not gonna have school as a crutch.
Right.
I'm not gonna have that as an excuse to not do anything, or I'm not gonna have, maybe my business is only gonna last through college. Who knows what's gonna happen after you graduate after them 4 years? And they don't take time to actually figure out what they want to do
next,
and who they are as a person. And I think that is something that is really, really, really important, especially as a student, as a person. I mean, you could just be a regular person. Right. Knowing who you are can help you figure out so many different things, and not just knowing who you are, but knowing the purpose the reason you were put on this earth can make your life 10 times better, and make your decisions 10 times easier to make. So, with that being said, what are some things students or regular people, or I mean, maybe grandma want to know how to edit on Premiere Pro or something like that. What are some things, beginners that say, hey, I'm a college student, I want to make an extra $100 a month doing videography or photography, or hey, I'm a 50-year-old dad that with the current climbing of things just got laid off and I'm trying to make an extra $200 a month, what are some things that they can do to prepare them to do videography or photography?
First I would say like
some things, beginners that say, hey, I'm a college student, I want to make an extra $100 a month doing videography or photography, or hey, I'm a 50-year-old dad that with the current climate of things just got laid off and I'm trying to make an extra $200 a month. What are some things that they can do to prepare them to do videography or photography?
Finding new ways to edit, find new effects to try and stuff. So that's what really got me started and motivated to being this videographer. And it made me want to explore other aspects of videography outside of sports. So first I would just say find what you're passionate about and just like record it. No matter what it is, just go out and record it and just go home and edit. It doesn't have to be perfect,
right?
Like as you have this skill or whatever you want to do, like you'll eventually grow. If you keep going at it and you keep doing it, you'll eventually grow. So just going out, find what you're passionate about and just constantly do it, consistently do it, and eventually you'll grow and you'll start to expand like your skills or expand ideas and just expand how you want to go about things within videos.
Right. I think what's important for everybody to take from that is, you can't just go into it expecting to make money.
Right.
You can't do that, especially if you're trying to build an actual skill with photography and videography. Find something you're passionate about. If you like lilies, go take videos of lilies, take photos of lilies, and just practice on your skills. Build your skills first, and then once you do that, everybody that wants to partake in your skills will flock to you. And that's one thing I think a lot of people conceptualize about business these days. They think, I'm gonna come up with a business idea and then I'm gonna go sell it. No, you have to have customer validation first. That's where a lot of people fail. You don't get the customer validation afterwards. You have to show your work. You have to be vulnerable with your work, and you have to allow people to come to you and be able to say, hey, I want you to do this for me. How much are you going to charge me? What are some things that have made you have doubt in videography, or maybe just even in school, and how are you able to ground yourself and say, hey, these negative thoughts are not something that I'm gonna feed into?
I just want to say, like, getting closer to God, allowing God to be in control, following the path that He has paid for me instead of trying to branch out and do my own thing, because we don't have it all figured out. Like, we'll try so many things, then we keep failing, and then we wonder why. It's because like we're not following what God has planned for us. So just like tapping back into my faith and just trusting Him that no matter how I feel, no matter how many no's I get, no matter how many times I mess up, that I'm gonna grow and be who I want to be, but it takes time. It's a process. It's not my timing, it's God's timing. But Galatians 6:9, it says, and let us not grow weary and for doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So just having a faith and staying grounded and just knowing that no matter what's going on, like, God got me. Don't give up. Give 100% and just be invested in what I'm doing. So I can't give up. Like, even if I want to quit, I can't give up. I know I want to be something in life.
Right. And so, with that being said, how do you kind of keep trying to figure out how to word this question? How do you keep everything in order, separately and in order? You got school, you got creative, you got working out, you got devoting time to God, you got, of course, you got a calendar, but calendar can't hold everything. So how do you keep everything straight in your mind? Because I know for sure, sometimes at night I'll just be trying to go to sleep and then 50,000 things rush through my head and stuff like that. So how do you keep that together, and what are some some things that you do to do that?
I do a lot of like writing down.
Mm.
If I write it down, put on a sticky note, put on like my mirror or something, so I can see it and just go back to it and just remember. Like I have things to do, so just writing stuff down, and also yeah, basically just writing stuff down so I can go back to it.
Yeah, I'm bad at that.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. I can write a list that's from here to Timbuktu and never look at it again in my life.
That's me. I'm the same way, but it's just going into like habits. If I know I want to change and if I want to do better, I just got to create better habits for myself.
That's something I'm working on now too. You know, I say I want to do this, I say I want to do that, and do this and do that, and then when time comes, I'm just like, oh,
you just get lazy.
Yeah,
do it.
It's something I'm growing out of though. I'm just me as a person and trying to find my creative lens in everything that I do, because I feel like my purpose has always been to help people. That's just who I am as a person, and this is just the avenue I chose to do that through. And me trying to do that in a creative way, in a me way, and not copy what people are doing on YouTube and stuff like that. That's just something that a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with. That's something that everybody's gonna struggle with, because you as a person and you as a creative, I feel like, are two different things. Right. You as a person, especially when you grow into who you are and who God wants you to be, it's real mellow. It's not too much to it. You do what you need to do, you tell the truth, and you go home and mind your own business. But as a creative, it's so many different things that you want to do within, whatever you may have, and it's just like sometimes you just don't really know how to do that. Right. And I think writing stuff down, which I'm bad at, but other people are good at. I mean, you can also do voice memos. Just open your phone and say, "Hey, I need to take out the trash when I get home."
I'm bad at writing things down and just going back to it, but I'm just trying to make it part of my routine. Like if I know I got to do something, I have ADHD, so I know I'm going to forget, so I have to write it down and put it somewhere so that I can, I look at it and I'll go handle it. Because if I don't, like, I might have a meeting. If it's not on my calendar, I done ran through the whole day. I done got home comfortable, and it's like, dang, I had a meeting.
Right.
I forgot about it.
Right.
Dang,
I do
I had
the
this
same
and this
thing.
to do. I done forgot, so I'm just trying to write it down, put it on the calendar, and just I put on my calendar for remind me 2 hours before.
Yeah, I need to start doing that, because I had a tabling event today, and I completely forgot about it until 2:00. and then I was like, gotta go table. But I have to get better at that. But that's something like us talking about this. You don't have to be perfect at everything. You don't have to have everything figured out. The point of it is to just do it. If you want to do what we're covering the blueprint for today is videography. If you want to do videography, find something you love, find something you like, find something you're passionate about, and just go out and do it. It doesn't matter if it looks great. It doesn't matter if you have it all together or how you want it to look from the beginning. As you can see, the podcast setup has changed, and it looks amazing.
It do.
But it doesn't matter. If you're starting out, with 2 gold feet. Right. Well, I don't know. I just made that up. That ain't even a saying. I just pulled that out the rabbit hat. But it don't matter if you all glitter and gold. Sometimes you gotta start off looking a little rough.
You gotta start from somewhere.
Nobody starts from the top.
As long as you start, it's all that matters.
Nobody starts at the top. And if you do start at the top, it's easier to fall. So just remember that. Okay. So looking back on, how you've evolved as a videographer, how you evolved as a photographer, what are some key things that you learned along the way that helped you evolve into who you are today?
I just want to say, I think my environment and where I came from, knowing that I don't want to end up where some people have ended, and so it just kind of give me a motivation. You from Delaware, it's nothing there. The people you hung out with in middle school, they either dead or in jail. So it's it's motivation to just I don't know how to put it. It's just motivation
I
to
get what you're saying.
just keep going and don't give up on yourself because God has a plan for me.
Right.
And as long as I'm moving and putting one foot forward, like it doesn't matter how long it'll take. I'm going to get there at some point.
Right. Everybody has a reason to why they feel as if they need to do something different. Everybody thinks they're in the worst predicament. And some people are in the worst predicament. Some people are in bad predicaments. Everybody thinks that, but that's just a drive or a factor. I feel like that God has placed you in to be able to allow you to understand what your purpose is and what you're supposed to do in life, and basically light a little fire up under that butt and tell you need to get it together.
You need to do better.
I feel like it's super easy, super easy to just allow yourself to be the same as everybody around you. I feel like that is easy. Some people might say it takes skills to try to act like everybody around you, but I feel like that's the easiest thing you could possibly do in life. Just copy the person next to you and keep it kicking. You will live to 80 years old. But I feel like it takes a special person, and then some people might disagree with me on this, but it takes a special person to actually understand that there's somebody different, that they're not the same as Tom over there, or Paul over there, or Jennifer, or all these names I'm making up. It takes a special kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like me, for example, I started trading at 16. Didn't know what I was doing. Lost $150. It was my money, so who cares?
Right.
But at the same time, like, my family had never seen it, had never seen trading, had never done that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, they like, oh, where'd she get that from? We ain't like that.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I'm like, okay, it's something a little bit different there. And when you get that one little inkling that you not the same as your environment, it's a piece of cake from there. You just got to figure out what you want to do.
And, like, in Atomic Habits, I can't remember which chapter, but it's talking about, like, how your environment shapes you. And he basically said to be an architect, be the designer of your life and not merely the consumer.
Right.
So, like, you're in control of your life. You put around, like, being around people that do things that you'll do. Be around people that motivate you to do better and to keep going. Just create this powerful environment that allows you to grow and be better rather than keep you where you are or push you back down. So you might have to change your friends, change who you're around,
right,
change your bad habits into good habits, and just like try to do better. Be 1%, be that 1%er. So put in 1% every single day to do better, to grow, and eventually, I don't see why we can't win.
Exactly. And if you go back to that verse, the Galatians verse, it's really just if you try and you give time to God and you understand that nothing is possible without Him, then how can you fail? What is failure if you do that? It's not nothing. Failure is not because it didn't happen. Failure is because it didn't happen and then you stop. That is failure. Failure is not, I'm going to do this and then it didn't work. Okay, well, let me pivot a little bit and try this. That's not failure. That's called learning. And when you understand that is when you'll be able to grow as a person and understand, what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, and then just do it.
Right.
As Nike says.
There's another verse, Hebrews 12:1-2. It say, "Let us not run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith." So if we just allow God to change our heart, transform us, allow Him to guide our actions, our thoughts, our words, and just have the faith in Him, I don't see why we can't win or we can't be who we want to become or do the things that we want to do. Just have faith in God. Don't give up on yourself and just keep moving forward. Just have your eyes straight ahead and keep moving forward and be all you can be. Be the best at that path or that lane that you're in.
Exactly. And I feel like I sound like a old head right now, but I feel like that's what them young Thundercats these days is missing. They ain't got nobody tugging them by the ear and saying, you better sit on this pew and you better not say a word. And that's one thing I love about being from the South. Now, not some people might bash the South, and especially in Mississippi. I'm from the deep South, baby. I'm from the deep South. They bash the deep South, but our parents and our grandparents, they had to go through so much that they will not let us sit there and think that we did it all on our own, or they did it all on their own, or they got out the predicament, or they were able to feed their families when they were being discriminated against, or such and such on our own. And I feel like as a business owner, if God is not at the center of your business, if God is not at the center of your life, that business, you might make a couple, dollars here and there, but it won't prosper the way that you want it to. And if you're sitting there looking at yourself and you thinking self, and yourself say, and then you like, why my business ain't prospering? Well, baby, it's time to open up that Bible you got sitting on your nightstand.
Especially as an entrepreneur, you gotta just have like, things gonna get rough. You gonna want to give up, but you just gotta remember, like, God got you. Just keep going.
We done went to Bible study over here. we gonna reel it back in a little bit. Wrapping it up a little bit. Looking back, is there one photo or one video you think about or you look at and you say that really encapsulates me as a creative and a person?
That's great. Dang, I done put out a lot.
I know. When you produce stuff like that, it's hard to pick something, but it gotta be one that just say, "This is me. This is where I put good effort." Well, it didn't even have to be good effort. This is me as a creative, as a person. This represents my hard work that I put in.
Ooh, that's a great question. I think I'm gonna say the NPAC, the night agent video, just because that was something. Appreciate it. That was just something different. Like, I'm in the process of learning sound design for videos, and I'm trying to get more into like short films. So I feel like that was a great start for me to just get the feel of things and putting all these pieces together to like not only learn, but to just say like I'm trying something different. I'm doing something different. I can do all of these things. So I think I'm gonna say that video, just because that is probably where I want to head. Doing a bunch of like short films and filmmaking and just more storytelling and just being more in detail with what I do, rather than just picking up a camera, going out to record and edit and just say, here you go. I want to be more like in detail with things, and like there's a lot to videography that people don't see that goes into it. So I think I want to say that one because I put in a lot into that video.
Yeah. I was sitting there watching that video. I was like, dang, man, this looking a little nice. Make me want to go shoot a short movie or something.
Their concept was fire, and what they wanted to do was fire, and
it was executed
crazy. I was
very
watching
well.
the Netflix. I was just watching The Night Agent on Netflix, so it was like, oh yeah, like I'm down to do it. Like, let's do it. Night Agent's fire.
Night Agent is fire. Okay, and what is some advice you would give to someone, a student, specifically? We'll go with a student specifically since that's mainly what I've been focusing on lately. Some advice you would give as a student, just maybe let's just say a freshman. Let's just give it an avatar. A freshman student coming into college, and they're creative. They want to push their creativity into the university, into their surroundings. What was some advice that you would give them, and some habits that they could do to make themselves confident? Because as a freshman, you shaking in your boots. You new, you don't know nobody. So what's some advice you would give to freshmen that want to be creatives at their university?
I would say be 100% authentic. Whatever you want to put out, just make sure that is you, and like that's something you want to put out, not to do things for like the world or for the views or for the likes and for the comments. Just do what's in your heart and give it 100%. Things gonna take time, so just be patient with the process. Everyone isn't going to come to you all at once. It's going to take some time, some months, some years for people to start gravitating towards your work, because it's something you put out from your heart and not what they want to see. So just be 100% authentic. And how do you pronounce it? Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do it wholeheartedly as for the Lord and not for the man. So whatever you do, whatever you're passionate about, do it as like a service for God and not doing it for man or to please people. So be 100%, be patient with the process and just create. Go out there and create. Take your camera or whatever you're interested in and just take it out. And be a 1%er. Just get up every day and work hard and change like your habits and stuff to have better habits and break off those bad habits, break off the things that weren't working for you. Try something different and just be yourself.
Most definitely. Be authentic. Most definitely. Today, we not only learned the blueprint for videography, but we learned the blueprint to authenticity, scaling your business, putting God first, and so much more. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. It's been a pleasure. I missed you guys. We're back for season 2. Stay tuned because I got a lot more in the wraps. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next episode.